Should really shave before the next time I do one of these. I didn't get a chance to listen to as much music as I would have liked throughout this past year, but I still managed to listen to a lot. And because I did listen to a lot, I feel like I should commemorate some of my favorite projects with, well, videos. In previous years, I've done 3 different videos to end the year: the spinnies, my favorite songs, and my favorite albums. But this year, I also wanted to commemorate some of my favorite EPs that were released because that only seems right. Also, just a heads up, I'm making judgment calls here on what I consider to be an EP versus what is actually an EP or an LP, or I guess whatever the band categorize it at. Just, forewarning, it might seem a little weird here. You might not agree with what I'm saying is an EP, but tough shit. Go find a different channel. Okay, those are the only ground rules that I have set, so let's get right into my 10 favorite EPs of 2021. Actually, I lied. One last thing. I would like to remind everybody that I do not review music. That is not what I do here. I simply enjoy music and enjoy talking about it. So by me saying that these are my 10 favorite EPs, that does not mean that they're the 10 best, because that's just not what I do. Therefore, you can disagree with me all that you want, but just know that I'm not making these claims objectively. They are all subjective, and you can argue with me as much as your heart desires. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Anyway, let's move right into my 10 favorite EPs of 2021. No bullshit, let's just go. Kicking things off at number 10 is the 4 Ways to Die split EP featuring Kurama, P.S. You're Dead, Thought Crime, and the Queen Guillotined. This was put out by Paperwing Records, and let me be one of the many to say that this fucking rips. Each band puts out an unrelenting piece of hardcore and violent music. I mean, Jesus, it seems like they don't even rest for a single second on any of these 4 tracks. Its sole purpose for existing is to kick your ass over and over and over again with each passing song. But it's a pain that is absolutely worth enduring. We're changing up the soundscape a bit at number 9 with EP2 by JPEG Mafia. This was certainly a new look for Peggy, as he leans much more into a pop and R&B style. It's much smoother and accessible than some of his older material, but it also seems like a weird departure for him. Peggy has said that he will never make another record that sounds like this, which kinda sucks, but I also get it. Even in all the intriguing experimentation lies an inherent breaking point. Regardless, I think it's a really good project that shows one of hip-hop's modern revolutionaries dipping his toes in a whole new world. At number 8 is Perfect by Mannequin Pussy. It should be a surprise to no one that Mannequin Pussy found their way on this list. They always put out killer material, and Perfect is no different. With their signature blend of punk, indie, and everything that falls in between, they threw together this diverse 5-track EP. It's a little from both worlds, with some tracks being ragers while others are sullen love songs. It's not world-beating, but it's a great listen nonetheless. I was supposed to see Mannequin Pussy play live with Nothing on New Year's Eve, but COVID had to go and ruin that. I'm sure I'll see them live at some point, but I would love to hear them play some songs off of Perfect. Coming in at number 7 is Soul Glow with Volume 1 and 2. If you combine these 2 projects, you end up getting 6 tracks total, which sucks because you can never get enough Soul Glow. Or at least I can't get enough of their hip-hop infused hardcore that seemingly only they can pull off. Like, seriously, I'm sure that you've heard hardcore groups try to do hip-hop before, but nobody does it quite like Soul Glow. Each of these 6 tracks is a distinct experience, and each 6 acts as a testimony to why Soul Glow is one of the best in the game right now. Number 6 goes to Benny the Butcher and Harry Fraud with their collab, The Plugs I Met Too. The charm between rapper and producer on this EP is more than obvious. Benny runs laps around his competition all over Fraud's subdued yet layered beats. For the most part, the lyrics are triumphant as Benny praises himself for how successful he has become, all while being a self-made man. This EP acts as a great pick-me-up for when I need to be motivated or when I just want to hear some great bars about selling drugs. Spy's Habitual Offender takes the 5 spot. Holy mackerel, this EP is ruthless. Obviously, the instrumentals are intense between heavy riffs and earth-shattering breakdowns, but the heaviest material is found in the lyrics. Spy makes a statement on Habitual Offender, or rather, they make a ton of statements ranging from police brutality to wage disparity. Spy has an obvious agenda, and that is to look after all of the people while the rich and powerful are out there playing with their fake wars. While this is a common sentiment in hardcore right now, I personally enjoy the way that Spy is addressing everything the most. At number 4, there is Knocked Loose with A Tear in the Fabric of Life. This project feels much more like an LP than it does an EP, but hey, they list it as an EP, so it is what it is. As per usual, Knocked Loose crushed this release with all of their glorious metalcore might. The entire concept of this EP is driven by a fictional deadly car accident that leaves the soul riddled with guilt. These themes are addressed so acutely within the instrumentals, lyrics, vocals, and production. This is just some real heavy shit that cannot go unnoticed. I don't think that this is considered an EP, but screw it, I make the rules here. My third favorite EP of 2021 is the Sunami Gulch split. When 2 of the biggest names in California hardcore come together, you just know whatever they put out is gonna be killer. And this didn't disappoint at all. Both groups put out incredible incredible, hair-raising tracks that demand your attention and respect. Sunami's 2 tracks are soul-crushing, feeling heavier than most sludge metal tracks, while Gulch comes in and brings their signature off-the-walls violence and energy. This is a split for the ages, especially when it appears that this is Gulch's last release ever. Yeah, I'm pretty upset about that, so let's just move on to a happier topic. Coming in hot at number 2, it's Military Gun with 2 EPs, All Roads Lead to the Gun 1 and 2. It's my show, I'm allowed to cheat whenever I want. Both of these projects feature heavy instrumentals that definitely line up with hardcore, but just never truly feel heavy enough to really justify the categorization. They sit in this strange limbo that I can't really put my finger on, but that's just what makes them so special. It's almost like easy listening hardcore. The songwriting is so damn catchy, and the hooks are absolutely wonderful. Every song off of these 2 projects have gotten stuck in my head at least once since their release. Just 2 super solid collection of songs here, both deserving a high spot on my list. Now, my favorite EP of 2021, drumroll. Alright, I'm not getting a drum roll. It's Hey I Love You with Internet Breath. This is a record that is essentially exactly what I want to see from the next wave of the emo genre. It is incredibly inventive, colorful, and catchy. Each song is its own little world that is then all connected into the bigger picture of the EP. Every section feels fresh and progressive, never really looking back into the rear view. The lyrics are fun and pensive at the same time. I just can't get enough of this release. I'm a proud owner of a first edition cassette that is limited to 25 on its initial release. Let me just flex for a second here. I just fucking love this project. It encapsulates so many genre-bending aspects that I've come to love throughout this year. Honestly, if this were considered an it could very well take the #1 spot there too. I utterly adore this project, and I recommend it to literally anybody that can physically listen to music. So that does it. That's a wrap on my 10 favorite EPs of 2021. And if you're at all curious about what my favorite 20 tracks or my favorite 30 albums will be, I encourage you to subscribe and come back the rest of this week to find out. I also do videos called So You're Interested In, where I break down an artist's discography and give you a good starting off point to get into their catalog. Of course, there's also Stacks of Wax, a show where I alphabetically go through my record collection and just show it off. Please let me know what your favorite EPs of this year are. Maybe you got some good recommendations from this video. Maybe you've never heard of these before. Maybe you already have them on your own list. The possibilities are endless. Just leave a comment below and I'm sure I will get back to you. That about does it. This will be a shorter video than the other 2 that are coming out, just for my sake and for your sake. So let's end it on a high note. Until I see you next time, happy listening.